department of government dedicated to farmers create an opportunity for young people to have extraordinary knowledge about agriculture and to be able to extend that knowledge into the countryside, be able to give folks the opportunity to get started in farming and ranching, and then connect the coast so that we were one nation, in 1 year, one Congress. So when folks tell me how difficult it is now to pass the Farm Bill, I go, really? 1862 is a good reminder of what we can do. This department was founded primarily on the belief that it was necessary for us to continually be ahead of the curve in innovation. This particular science review opportunity is also that chance to understand what's not just happening, but what's going to happen. And innovation has been extraordinarily important to the future of American agriculture. And it is because of innovation that we enjoy something in this country that a lot of people take for granted and should never take for granted. Because of the extraordinary productivity, effectiveness, and efficiency of American agriculture, Americans are food secure. We are a food secure nation. That means essentially that everything we absolutely need to survive as a people, as a nation, is grown and raised in our own country. We wouldn't necessarily have to import a single thing for us to survive. Very few countries on earth have that capacity. And on top of that, when folks go to the grocery store, buy their groceries and leave the grocery store, because of that efficiency, because of the systems we put in place, because of that effectiveness, we spend far less for our food than virtually any other people on earth. 10% of our paycheck for food. So a food secure nation, spending less money on food means that we have more money to spend on everything else in the economy, and it's one of the reasons our economy has always been the strongest in the world. 1 out of every 12 jobs in this country connected to agriculture. The governor did a great job of making that connection today. As agriculture does well, agriculture and agribusiness does well. So innovation has been the key. And it wasn't so long ago that we weren't a nation capable of producing our own food. I remember giving a memorial to Norman Borlaug when he passed away several years ago, and talking about his early life, where folks really, if they didn't grow it, they didn't eat. And here we are today, not only being able to meet our own needs, but now, for 50 consecutive years, we've had an agricultural trade surplus. Every year we sell more to the world than we purchase. Last year we had a record year of agricultural exports. The last 3 years have been the best 3 years of ag exports in the history of the country. We're going to have another strong year this year, so that will make 4 consecutive years of record growth. And every $1 billion of ag sales not only benefits farm income, but it also helps to support 7,800 jobs at home. So our agricultural exports are supporting nearly 1 million jobs, many of them here in the state of Ohio. Not only do we have record farm exports, but our farmers, being the best stewards of the land, are also now engaged in record conservation activities. Over 500,000 producers have entered into contracts recently to work on soil and water conservation. Ohio helping to lead the way. We're doing work in the Great Lakes area. We're doing work on regulatory certainty here in the state of Ohio, on ecosystem markets, encouraging private sector investment in conservation. Innovation ahead of the curve. Not only is this state helping in conservation, but you're also helping to lead the way, because you're a specialty crop producer, in the development of local and regional food systems. This is a remarkable innovation where people are connecting once again with their farmer at a farmer's market or community-supported agricultural activity, or a local school purchasing local produce. It's now a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's grown significantly in the last 3 years. We've seen a record number of increases in these direct-to-consumer sale opportunities. And then finally, as we reshape this rural economy, one of my favorites, and something that this state and this university has done so much work in, the bio-based economy. The ability to take virtually everything we grow and raise, every particle, every piece of it, and trying to figure out what we can create in addition to food and feed. So we're seeing a record amount of fuel being produced today, reducing our reliance on foreign oil. 3 years ago, 61% of our oil was imported in this country. Now it's 45%. We're creating jobs here in the Midwest, not in the Middle East. And that's a good thing. But it's not just fuel. It's not just the feed supplements that come from fuel production. It's every chemical, every fabric, every fiber, every polymer. Now the work is being done in innovative ways to create new ways to produce this from what we grow and raise in the United States. I have seen facilities where municipal waste and agricultural waste is being used to produce fuel. I've seen at Ohio State work that you're doing with the dandelions and the work that you're doing with hog waste to produce rubber and asphalt. I've been to Virginia Tech where they're working on making from plant material the body of an automobile stronger and lighter than current bodies, which will make cars more safer and more fuel efficient and totally plant-based. I've been to the Ford Motor Company Innovation Center in Michigan, where every seat of every truck in every car produced in North America by the Ford Motor Company has now got a soy foam base. They are experimenting with soybeans to produce tires. Their goal, every aspect, every piece of a car, being plant, crop, or livestock waste-based. Innovation, driving a new economy in rural areas. And it's happening in universities across the United States. But Ohio State is absolutely one of the great leaders. And you've extended it beyond the bioproduct program. You're extending it so that we at USDA are working to encourage folks to use the financial wherewithal of the federal government to purchase these bio-based products, increasing market opportunities, labeling products so consumers can make the choices, but you've extended even further. You're now looking at the possibility of taking what we grow and what we raise and turning it into medicines. Tomato juice that can help prostate cancer. A little candy made of blackberries that can help as a treatment for oral cancer. Folks, this is an amazing, exciting, challenging new world. And as a result, you're beginning to encourage young people to really understand the tremendous potential of agriculture. Your university is a great place. If I had a youngster and I was concerned about making sure that youngster graduated and then had a job, I would send him to College of Agriculture at Ohio State University, because 92% of those kids who graduate, they end up getting employed right away. I don't know how many parents there are in this audience, but trust me, I have two sons. That is a relief when your kid is employed. 92%. That's an amazing record. Hundreds of thousands of young people are now coming into colleges of agriculture, and tens of thousands are becoming farmers and ranchers because they see this new opportunity. And it is all about innovation. Now, there's one thing that could prevent all of this from happening. And one thing that could stop the momentum that we've seen with record farm income and unemployment coming down in rural areas at a faster rate because of all these new opportunities. That would stop the development of bioprocessing facilities dotting the landscape, hiring folks and creating new market opportunities. That will shut down the farmers' markets, that won't support production, agriculture, and exports. It's the lack of a consistent farm policy in what I like to refer to as the Food, Farm, and Jobs Bill that everybody else in America refers to as the Farm Bill. We don't have a Farm Bill. And September 30th, the Farm Bill we have will expire. And we are calling and have called on Congress to get its work done. Nothing can stop this momentum more quickly than the uncertainty of what the future will be. When it is so bright and so positive and so historic, the failure of Congress to pass a farm bill, to give certainty, to give research its due, to give support for the research programs, to create new opportunities for us to leverage research dollars. It's an enormous opportunity. So I encourage everyone here to continue encouraging their member of Congress in the Senate. Senator Brown I worked with on the Ag Committee, and he's worked hard to get it through the Senate. We need the House to get it through the House so we can work out whatever differences exist between the two bodies, get this bill to the President as quickly as possible. It's just extraordinarily important. Now, I will leave you with this. And I say this to every audience I talk to. It isn't just about farm income, as important as that is. It isn't just about being able to create the next opportunity for the next generation so that you can say to your sons and daughters or your grandchildren, there is opportunity here on the farm, there's opportunity here on the ranch, there's opportunity in small towns. That is important. It isn't about the jobs, as important as that is. It isn't about the cures for cancer, as important as that is. It's about the value system of this country that is at stake here. It's more than all of the things I've talked about, more than all that the speakers prior to me have talked about. You see, 16% of America provides nearly 40% of our military. 16% of America lives in rural communities, in small towns, on farms and ranches. But those kids, they end up understanding they've got a responsibility to their country. And so in disproportionate numbers, they put themselves on the line. I've got a nephew, just got back from Afghanistan, the Marine Corps. Sam didn't have to go in the Marine Corps. He could have gone to college. But he chose to go in the Marine Corps. And many kids make that decision. And the reason they make it is because of what you all teach them. See, when they grow up in a farm community, when they grow up surrounded by farmland and ranch land, they grow up surrounded by people who understand how precious the land is and how you can't keep taking from the land. You have got to give something back. You've got a responsibility to give something back in order for it to continue to produce for future generations. And you instill in all those young people an understanding of that basic value. That anything important in life requires investing in, requires nurturing and maintaining. That there's a stewardship responsibility. And when kids grow up with that mentality and that value system, they understand a country that provides them so much opportunity, so much freedom, so much in terms of financial opportunity, that they have a responsibility to give something back. So the future of rural America, rural Ohio, is not just about the future of the folks who live there. It's about every single person in this country who enjoys those freedoms and liberties, and making sure that we always have people willing to sacrifice and give something back. That's why I think I've got the greatest job in America, because I'm working for great people who feed us, who challenge us, and who protect us. That's why this is important. That's why innovation is important. That's why science is important. That's why this great university is important, because it helps preserve what is greatest and best about this great nation.